Welcome to the Extreme Living Supply Shop. No matter where it is you intend to move, we have the supplies that you'll need for even the harshest adventures. What exciting trip can I assist you with today? You're going to be moving to Mars soon? Well, that's very exciting, isn't it? In that case, there's quite a few things that you're going to be needing, as I'm sure that you are aware. How much do you have for your Mars homestead already? Do you already have your spot picked out? Oh, okay. I've never actually been to that side of Mars, but I have seen pictures, and it does look like a beautiful area to settle. There's a lot of red mountains to view from there, so it gives the Martian atmosphere a little bit of aesthetic variation, you know? All right, well, will you be building your own pod there, or do you already have one in place? Okay, in that case, I would definitely recommend insulating it with aerogel, which we do carry here. It's a little bit expensive, but it's really quite worth it. It keeps you protected from all the extreme temperatures, so you don't have to worry about the heat or the cold. And it's extremely lightweight, so you don't have to worry about carrying pounds and pounds of this stuff up there. It's almost like holding smoke. You know, it's lightweight, it's slightly transparent, and it really does the job. It's almost magic. And if you accidentally set up camp on a volcano, it can actually withstand lava for a while as well. So just little things to think about. Would you be interested in some aerogel? You would. Okay. Why don't I just start a running file of all the equipment that you would like, and then after we're done with our little session here, we can figure out where we're going to deliver this, or if you want to pick it up, whatever, things like that, okay? Okay, so. And how big is your pod, so I know how much aerogel to set aside for you? Okay, so just kind of a little cottage pod, really? Okay. Now, as far as breathability, we do carry a wide selection of oxygen tanks. However, considering that you're going to be a permanent resident, I would recommend an oxygen generator so that you can create your own oxygen perpetually while you're there. Yes, it works by pulling the oxygen out of Mars' carbon dioxide atmosphere. It filters it and makes it perfectly breathable. And again, that way you have an unlimited supply of oxygen. You never have to worry about running out, because it's always creating its own oxygen right from the atmosphere that's already surrounding you. You'd be interested in that as well? Okay, it's an excellent choice. Now, for a power source, obviously we're going to go to the default, solar panels. Yeah, it's really one of the easiest solutions to provide power for the Mars colonists. Last time I checked, there's not a whole lot of power plants up and running on Mars right now, so solar panels are a great way for the outlying colonists to power their pods. So, of course, there is a little less sun on Mars than there is on Earth. So whatever you would need on Earth, you're going to have to increase that amount for living on Mars. Yes, we do have a lot of experience with solar panels. In fact, this lovely building right here is being powered by solar. As you can see, these are our solar panels. This is our line of solar, and we just love them. We find that they really help keep those electric bills down, Anything that we can plug into our solar power is something that we don't have to plug into the grid power, and the less we have to plug into the grid power, the lower our electric bills are. Now, of course, you're not going to have to worry about electric bills on Mars now, are you? But yes, the solar panels will definitely be a great way for generating power out there. As you can see, we carry two sizes, the large and the small. The small are obviously a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to move around, but the big ones are going to collect more sunlight. Yes, you will have to regularly dust them off, Mars being a very dusty planet, and unlike Earth, doesn't get a lot of rain showers. When Earth panels get dusty, it's usually some rain that comes along and washes them off fairly frequently. You won't get that on Mars, so you will definitely have to dust them off by hand, but you're going to find there are a bunch of different chores that you'll have to be doing in a Mars homestead that you wouldn't necessarily have to be doing on Earth. However, isn't that all just part of the adventure? So, have you ever used solar panels here on Earth? You have, okay. So you have an idea kind of about the amounts and your own personal power usage? Okay, so would you prefer the large panels or the smaller panels? Maybe a mix of both? Okay, and how many of each kind do you think you'll be needing to meet your power needs on Mars, accounting for the fact that there is less sunlight on Mars? Okay, let me just put that on your order. Now, of course, with your solar panels, you're going to be wanting a few batteries to store all of that power. We offer various sizes of batteries, everything from 100-watt batteries all the way up to 20,000-watt batteries. Yes, you can store quite a bit of power in those. So even if there's a dust storm that lasts for a few days, you're going to have a power supply to get you through. Now, it sounds like you're somewhat experienced with solar, as you've mentioned, so about how many batteries do you think you'd need, wattage-wise? And now the machines that we offer are batteries and inverters in one, so you don't have to worry about doing any wiring. Very easy to set up, just plug and play. And how many of those do you think you would need? Okay. Yes, the batteries will last about 10 years, and the panels themselves will last for about 20, so assuming you'll probably come back to Earth, at least once every 10 years, so you can bring the batteries or any panels back to be recycled. And the other thing is they will still work after the 10 and 20 year respectively. They'll just be a little less than 100%. They won't be running at full capacity after that, so there's no reason why you can't keep them and just add additional batteries or panels if you want to do that. Or if you notice that they're really getting of subpar quality, then yeah, just bring them back to Earth. You can actually bring them back to our facility and we can recycle them. Or most hardware stores will take rechargeable batteries for recycling, which will include all of your solar batteries. So just make a trip to the hardware store once every 10 years and recycle your batteries like that. So it's a pretty simple process. No, we do not use the lithium ion. We use LiFePO4, which is lithium iron, and they don't contain the rare earths that the lithium ions do, so they are cheaper to produce, and they are also very easy to recycle, unlike the lithium ion, which can be difficult to recycle. And as an added benefit, they're not prone to overheating the way lithium ion batteries are. You know, you got to be careful with your phone or your laptop, things like that. The LiFePO4 batteries are not as prone to overheating, so they're just a better battery all the way around, which is why we use them. Now, of course, you will be needing a suit for walking outdoors or visiting your neighbors, things like that. We carry a wide variety of outdoor walking suits. All of them come standard with temperature regulation, radiation protection, and of course oxygen. However, we do have a few upgrades that you can add if you desire. You can request certain colors. If you don't want the plain colored suit, you can choose what color you like. You can have it personalized with initials or a certain picture. We can embroider that right on there if you have a logo or a family crest or something that you'd like on it. Another option is communications built right into the suit so that you don't have to bring any communication devices with you. And then, of course, there is the option to have an auxiliary oxygen supply just in case your first one becomes disconnected or damaged, something like that. You'll have a backup which will allow you to get back to the safety of the pod to fix whatever went wrong with the first one. Are any of the additional options something you're interested in? The auxiliary oxygen supply? Okay, let me just put that on your order. Next, I assume you'll be wanting some microbe mix so that you can start your garden. Obviously, when you first grow, you'll just be taking some shelf-stable ingredients, but eventually I'm sure that you will want your own garden with wonderful fresh fruits and vegetables, and we provide the microbe mix so that you can just take some of the Martian soil and put it in your greenhouse and mix it with the microbe mix to get some of that life in the soil so that you can really get some good, tasty crops growing. One of the great things about Mars is that you won't have to worry about any pests or anything, no bugs or rabbits to come and chew up all of your produce. It's pretty much pest-free, so that is one benefit of growing your food on Mars. Yeah, it's something that you don't generally think about until you're there and realize, oh, there's no bugs or anything to come after the crops, so it is kind of handy that way. You'd like a very large bag of the microbe mix? Okay. And then, of course, you'll be wanting some tools. What gardening tools would you be interested in? We offer a wide selection. Okay. Okay. And how many of those would you like? Okay. Anything else? Okay. Now, to water your garden, of course, you're not going to want to waste good water. You're going to want to use all of your gray water. Yes, all of the water from your sink and your shower, things like that. So we can provide a gray water system that will clean out some of the largest impurities from the gray water so that it is safe to use to water your plants. We can provide a gray water collection system so that you can save all of your gray water and use it to water your plants. If you've ever lived on a well, you might have experience with this because when it gets dry in the summer, you're usually saving all your gray water to water plants with, just because it can be so difficult to come by water during the dry season if you have a well. So you have had experience with that? Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about then. So I think you're going to do just fine on Mars. So we have various types of gray water systems depending on how many people are going to be in your pod, how much water is going to be used, how often you do dishes, how often you shower, things like that. How much water do you think that you would use in a week? Yeah, just a rough estimation, and we'll be able to pair you with the right system then. Okay, I'm going to recommend the X374 then. I think that should more than meet all of your water needs. And should you meet a prospective partner up there on the Martian surface who decides to move in with you, it should be able to cover all of your needs. So that sounds pretty good. Okay, let's just put that on your order as well. And then finally, you're going to be needing a composting toilet. This will, of course, take care of the issue of waste, and you can also use it for composting kitchen scraps or anything like that, so that you have your toilet and composter in one, and then you can use all that compost to help in growing the food. Do you know very much about composting? You've done it a little bit? Oh, okay, so yeah, you'll probably get the hang of it pretty quick then. You know, you have to let it set for a certain amount of time before you can use it, and you have to water down the urine so you don't kill anything. You've done all that before? Okay, great. I don't think you'll have any problems with it then. We offer several sizes of composting toilet. I am going to recommend the largest size, as I always do for anyone who is going to Mars. On Earth, you have a little bit more option about what to do with the waste, but on Mars, you don't have quite as much option. So, and considering it can be kind of a pain to leave the pod all the time, having the biggest composter means that you won't have to empty it as often, which can save a lot of headaches when you are on Mars. So you don't have to put on the spacesuit all the time and all of that. So I would definitely recommend the biggest composter. That's all right with you? Okay, put that on your order. Now, will you be needing anything else? This is everything that I generally recommend to anyone who stops here going to Mars. But if there's something else that you think you need or would like for additional comfort in your pod, let me know and we can stick it on your order. You think that's it for now? Okay, then I'll just print out the order form here. And where can I send that? Okay. And would you like everything dropped off there? Okay, and when should we be making that delivery? Okay, so a few days before you depart. And where are you shuttling out of? Because we can drop it at your shuttle launch location if it's easier for you. Just at your house for now? Okay, we'll go ahead and do that then. And how would you like to pay for this? Unfortunately, we can't take credit card from people who are going to Mars, because obviously there's a chance that they may not follow through on their payments and then we don't get paid. So we will be needing cash or check that we can, or money order, that we can be paid immediately. Cash is fine with you? Okay, let me just pull that up. Okay, and here is the invoice total. Thank you. I'll mark you down as paid. So we will drop that off at your residence, your entire order, 3 days before you leave. And I wish you a wonderful adventure and congratulations on your new Mars pod. Thank you for choosing the Extreme Living Supply Shop. And if you're ever back on Earth, feel free to come visit us again, okay? Thank you very much.